Welcome. I'm Melissa Toombs with the Teaching and Learning Center with Lone Star College. Today we're going to talk about how to digitalize your whiteboard using the Rocketbook beacons. The Rocketbook app lets you convert your writing surface into a smartboard. This app allows you to capture and broadcast any whiteboard or wall surface in real time to your class or audience. One of the nice things is the Rocketbook app is free and it uses your current cloud services to share your board. What I'd like us to do is take a moment to get to know a little bit more about Rocketbook beacons and how they work straight from the company using their introductory video.
Activated by the water that you and I drink.
You'll be saying wow every time you use this towel.
The blanket that has sleeves.
When it comes to collaboration, nothing beats a big whiteboard. But after you've created your perfect diagram, what do? Take a regular old picture with your phone, an image you can barely read, sandwiched inside a giant album of unrelated photos. But with Rocketbook beacons, you can capture and share perfect whiteboard images with the whole team in an instant. Beacons aren't some expensive new gadget. Just 4 magic stickers together with your phone turns any ordinary whiteboard into a rocket board. Old whiteboards are white boring, but beacon images auto-crop and color pop, producing content more crisp and vibrant than the real thing. The Rocketbook app sees your beacons and connects to your whiteboard even from steep angles, so you've always got the perfect shot. Sharing ordinary whiteboards is normally such a hassle, but beacons instantly blast your content to the place it belongs in the cloud services you already use. Inside the Rocketbook app, you can assign up to 7 shortcut symbols to a location within Dropbox, Google Drive, Slack, or many other services. Simply scan your beacons and the app will automatically prompt you where to send it. So you can capture that customer meeting to a shared Google Drive folder, or blast that brainstorm with the team right to your Slack channel. To save even more time, jot down a couple hashtags next to your title and the app will automatically transcribe it to the file name. It's like controlling the internet with a marker. Looking to collaborate in real time? Whiteboards on webcams are blurry and shake, but with beacons, it's a piece of cake. Simply select Snapcast mode and your dry erase is in cyberspace. Just send out the unique URL and your whiteboard is broadcast live so everyone in the meeting can follow along. And remember, beacons use restickable micro-suction technology so they can easily be moved between boards and walls. Don't be a photo roll failure. Brainstorm like a boss. Strap your whiteboard to a rocket and blast off with Rocketbook beacons.
It was kind of fun getting to learn a little bit more about the Rocketbook beacons, right? So in order for us to get started on this, the first thing we need to do is to download that Rocketbook app. Just go to your Play Store, whether you have an Android or whether you have an Apple, it's going to work. You'll find the app and download it. It only takes a few moments. Now, once you've got it downloaded, you're going to see an onboarding guide pop up. You want to select the option to use that onboarding guide. It's literally going to walk you through step by step how to set up your system and how to use it, at least the basic uses. So it's definitely worth your while to do that because it's going to step you through each part of the process super simply. Now, if you don't just decide to use the onboarding guide, that's okay. There's still a how-to menu for you to go look at under that main menu, and you can still set it up and go through that process using that how-to guide. It's always going to be available to you. You also want to make sure that during this process, you take the time to figure out what your landing spaces are going to be. Where do you want those captures to be saved to? Do you already have Evernote? Do you already have Google Drive? Do you want to put it into your Gmail account? However you want to do it, you want to make sure you make those assignments at least determine where they're going to be during this time. So it's super simple once you're trying to do the actual captures. Now, I do recommend taking a couple extra steps during this process above and beyond what those tutorials in the system are going to show you. One is under the settings area, you're going to find handwriting recognition. Go ahead and click on there and go down to the smart titles. You saw in the introductory video that if you put hashtags, 2 hashtags in the front, some text, and 2 hashtags at the back, that's going to be saved as your title. In order for that to work, you've got to turn on your smart titles. It does save you a couple extra steps and helps you with that organizing. I definitely recommend it. The option right underneath there is going to be Smart Search. I recommend turning that on as well. It's going to allow you to search words that are in those screen captures. So if you have the word handwriting written somewhere on your whiteboard and you want to search for that, if you've turned on your smart search and you type in handwriting, all the captures that have that word in it are going to pop up for you to view. So it's worth your while and worth your extra effort to turn those 2 features on. The great part is that takes only less than 5 minutes from start to end to get you started, and then you're just ready to go. What you want to do next is put those beacons on your board. Go ahead, figure out what area you want to use, put them on each of the 4 corners. Now, it's recommended for the beacons to work best to be on an 8x8 or smaller board. If you need a space bigger than 8 feet by 8 feet, that's fine. You just want to double the size of the beacons and use 2 triangles at each corner instead of the 1. Now, what if you don't have access to actual Rocketbook beacons? Well, that's okay too. We've done some testing and we've discovered that you can actually DIY your beacons. You can simply have a piece of bright orange paper that you cut the corners off of and make little triangles like we did here. Or if you don't have the bright orange paper available, you can go onto Word and create orange triangles, or even draw large triangles directly onto the surface that you want to capture. The important thing to do is make sure that you're using a bright orange color that best mimics or most closely mimics the actual beacons, and that the triangles are about 2 inches in size. That's going to give you your best results. But you can absolutely make these at home. You don't have to purchase those beacons from Rocketbook to utilize this app, which I think is wonderful. Now, once you've put those beacons up, all you've got to do is turn on that app. When you turn on the app, go straight to the icon that has the camera, and it's going to open up and give you the option to do captures for Rocketbook or beacons. Make sure you go under beacons, and then immediately that app is going to start searching for and looking for those 4 beacons to do that capture. So turn on the app, select the camera, and face that camera on your phone straight to the surface that you want to capture. And you'll notice as it's searching, you'll see the 4 corners start to pop up. Once it's found those 4 beacons, it's going to start doing the capture. And you'll see an orange rectangle pop up on your screen and see the word scanning as it's going forward. And you'll actually know it's done the capture because you'll hear like a camera shutter sound, and that's how you know that it's captured it, and it will move it down and give the option to move forward into saving your file. Now, I did want to show you one of the nice aspects of the Rocketbook beacons and the app is that when it captures that whiteboard, it does a couple of things for you. It goes ahead and it flattens out that image. It takes away any shadows or shine that make it hard for that whiteboard to be read through a typical photograph. It makes it really simple and flat and easy for you to read, which I think is really nice. And so another one less step you have to make. You don't have to open up that photograph and do any edits to it. It's already ready to use and ready to share. The next part of that step is it's going to actually say next on your screen, and you're going to select which one of those cloud services that you want to save your capture to. Do you want to save it to Evernote? Do you want to save it to Google? If you've taken the time during that setup, like I asked you to go ahead and decide what those destinations are going to be, this is a one-click process for you. You hit next, you tell it where it wants to send it, it automatically goes. I will also say, if you took the time to set up your smart titles, this is also when it saves you time. You're not having to go in and name or rename that file. If you've used the double hashtags, it's going to choose the text within those double hashtags to name that file. So in this case, in the sample, it's going to name this file the Star Fun Facts. And it'll be easy for you to search and locate that capture. It's a great little feature. Now, let's say you're not looking to just capture one small capture or one time of your whiteboard. You actually want a live feed. You want to broadcast what you're doing as you're going. You're giving a lecture and you're writing on your board and you want your class to be able to see it as you go. That's when you're going to pick the Snapcast option, because it's going to give you a live feed of your whiteboard that you can send out to your class, because the system is going to give you a URL that's unique for this particular Snapcast that you can send out to them, and it's going to take a snapshot of your whiteboard every few seconds and sends that feed out live to your class. So you can actually give a lecture and have this sent out so it can live feed see how your whiteboard is changing as you're giving your lecture in your class. It's a great way to kind of tie in and bring that distance learning back into a traditional classroom environment. So you're doing something new, but also still doing some of the things that you're used to doing as well, and creating that normalcy, but still providing that distance learning opportunity that we're wanting to do. So it's a real simple process. It takes just a few minutes for you to get set up and get going. It might be something new, but how exciting is that to try something new during this time? So I say, now that you've got introduced to the Rocketbook beacons, go forth, conquer and digitalize your class with this app and have fun.